You think the worst your ex could do is text you late at night or stalk your socials. Then imagine this, it's late. You're home after a long shift, tired, drained, just wanting peace. But in the shadows, someone familiar is waiting, and they're holding your own kitchen knife. Story 1. The man with the backpack on the Walmart night shift. There was a time I worked the overnight shift at Walmart. Not because I loved the silence after midnight, but because I was a single mom, and it was the only time I could work. After getting my son to school, cooking, cleaning, and working a second job during the day, life was relentless. Walmart at night was where I held on. My shift ran from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Back then, Walmart was open 24/7. The rolling carts, buzzing fluorescents, and barcode scanners formed a strange soundtrack I came to know too well. That night was bitter cold. I was restocking cereal boxes in an empty aisle when someone passed by, then circled back, standing silently at the end of the row, staring directly at me. No cart, no basket, just a swollen black backpack, zippers half open like they'd been ripped apart. He stared. I looked up, eye contact, and he immediately turned away, pretending to examine granola bars. Maybe just a lost shopper, I told myself. But minutes later, he returned. Closer. "Excuse me, where's the bread?" he asked. His voice was raspy. His breath reeked of something sharp and bitter. I pointed. He nodded, staggering away like his legs weren't quite right. I turned back to work, but every alarm in my body was going off. 20 minutes later, he came back. Said nothing. Just stood at the end of the aisle again, watching. Waiting. It was just past 1 a.m. Only a few employees were left. I was alone in that section. I moved quickly to the snacks aisle at the far end of the store. As I crouched to stack chips, I looked up. There he was again. Empty-handed. Not buying. Not browsing. Just there. My chest tightened. He walked toward me. "I know it's rude to stare," he said, "but I have to say you're beautiful." I forced a polite smile. "Thanks, but I'm working." He grinned. His breath flooded my nose again. "We can just be friends. You got a number, I made one up." He smirked like he'd won a prize. I turned away, thinking, hoping it was over. It wasn't. Around 3 a.m., my radio crackled. "Hey, some guy's asking around about you." Real weird vibes. I told my coworker to say I'd gone home. Then I ran to the break room, a tiny space with dim yellow lights and 2 old chairs. I barely sat down when the door slammed open. It was him. "You gave me a fake number," he snarled. He threw his backpack onto the table, grabbing the zipper. I jumped up, heart pounding so loud I thought it would explode. I didn't wait to see what was inside. I ran. He chased me. His shoes slammed against tile as low growls came from his throat. I didn't stop all the way to the front exit. Out in the lot, I slammed my car door, locked. It started the engine. In the rearview mirror, he stepped outside, eyes scanning the parking lot like he was still hunting. I called the manager. He said, "You're not allowed to leave your shift. I'll call the cops if necessary." I never went back. And his backpack. I don't know what was inside, but I can still hear the rasp of that zipper. Still see those cold black eyes. And that's enough to know I will never work a night shift alone again. Story 2. The man with the backpack, retold by another voice. I used to work at a 24-hour Walmart. Supercenter-style groceries, electronics, even tires. Since my son was still in school, I took the night shift 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. so I could be there for him during the day. 2 jobs, little sleep, microwave dinners, but I was surviving. Late nights were quiet. Aisles stretched endlessly, filled with the soft hum of machines and tired footsteps. Most customers were harmless, except him. It started in the cereal aisle. He walked past, then paused, turned. just stared. No cart. Just a backpack so stuffed it looked ready to burst. Tangled hair, shaky walk, and those eyes. Blank, unreadable. He asked for the bread aisle. I pointed. He left. But then he came back. Again. Hovering. Circling. When I moved to the snack section, he followed. Not buying, just watching. Then he stepped closer. "You worked the night shift, huh? Been watching you. You're beautiful." I smiled tightly. "Thanks, but I'm working." He leaned in, asked for my number, said we'd just be friends. I lied, made one up. He wrote it down, proud of himself. Hours later, my coworker radioed. "Some guy keeps asking for you. He's creeping everyone out." I ran to the break room. 2 minutes later, he found me. "You gave me a fake number." His backpack hit the table. He started unzipping it. I ran. He followed. Past frozen foods. Past aisle 17. His footsteps echoing behind me. I reached my car and locked it just in time. He stepped into the lot, scanning like a predator. The manager brushed it off. Said I couldn't leave early. I never went back. And to this day, I don't know what was in that backpack. But I still wonder, what if I hadn't run story 3? The ex-girlfriend and the kitchen knife. I used to think breakups ended with silence, distance, time. But not with Casey. We dated for almost a year. Sweet at first, then possessive, then obsessive. After the breakup, I blocked her everywhere. She still found ways, new numbers, new emails, voicemail, sobbing. I didn't hate her. I just wanted peace. Eventually, I moved, changed jobs, started over. I never thought she'd find me again. I was working a late shift at Walmart, stocking clothes in the apparel section. Someone tapped my shoulder. I turned. It was Casey, smiling like nothing ever happened. She hugged me. I stepped back. "Heard you were working here," she said. "Missed you." I forced a calm response. "Casey, you shouldn't be here. It's over." Her face changed. Cold. Accusing. She said I was cruel. Heartless. A liar. I walked away. I thought that was it. It wasn't. My shift ended around 11. I drove home a small house I shared with my roommate Paul. His car was in the driveway. Lights were still on. I grabbed a snack, gamed a little, went to bed. Just past midnight, I woke up. My bedroom door was open. I remembered closing it. I walked into the living room. Front door wide open. Paul's car was still there. I knocked on his door, locked. He was asleep. Something wasn't right. I ran outside, checked our spare key under the flower pot. Gone. Only Casey knew where that was. Back inside, something pulled me toward the kitchen. Our biggest knife missing. I froze. Back to my room. Shut the door. Locked it. Seconds later, footsteps in the hall. Then, a knock. And a whisper. "I'm sorry. Can we talk, Casey?" I yelled for Paul. He opened his door, panicked. I told him she's in the house, with a knife. We called the cops. She cried, begged. "I just want to talk." Police arrived fast, told her to drop the knife, took her away in cuffs. She was charged with unlawful entry and weapon possession. No complaint was needed. The cops took it seriously. I don't know how long she'll serve, but since that night, I never leave a spare key outside again. And every time I hear a knock after midnight, I flinch. Because we can move on, but that doesn't mean they do. And if you've ever thought they'd never actually do anything, just remember, the dark gives crazy people plenty of time to smile before they act. Thanks for listening to tonight's story on your channel name. If you're alone right now, you might want to check your front door. Make sure it's locked. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next nightmare. And sleep well, if you can.